Heart of the dense jungle, where the tall trees formed a leafy canopy overhead, and the air was thick with the scent of wild herbs and flowers, there lived a powerful African lion. His name was Aslan, which meant king in his native tongue. And indeed, he was the king of his domain, respected and feared by all who lived there. Aslan's roar was like thunder, echoing through the jungle and shaking the ground beneath the feet of his subjects. Yet he was not a tyrant, far from it. He ruled with wisdom and fairness, ensuring that the balance of the jungle remained undisturbed. Under his watchful gaze, the animals lived in relative peace. The giraffes with their long necks browsing on the tallest trees, the zebras and deer grazing on the lush grasslands, and the monkeys leaping through the branches, all lived in harmony. Even the smallest creatures like the mice and rabbits were safe in their burrows, for Aslan knew that if they were harmed, the delicate balance of the jungle would be upset. Today, a young and foolish lion from a neighboring pride challenged Aslan's dominance. He had heard tales of Aslan's power and wanted to test it for himself. Aslan, though many years older and wiser, did not take the challenge lightly. He knew that if he didn't assert his dominance, the other lions would see him as a weak leader, and the entire pride could be thrown into chaos. The two lions faced off, their roars echoing through the jungle, a display of raw power and strength. But it was Aslan who came out victorious, his opponent defeated and driven back to his own pride. From that day on, the neighboring prides respected Aslan's dominance, and the peace in the jungle was restored. Aslan continued to rule with wisdom and strength, ensuring that the balance of the jungle remained undisturbed. Aslan's mane was a thick and luxurious thing, flowing down his shoulders like a golden waterfall. It was a symbol of his power and a mark of his age, each strand a testament to his battles fought and won. The other lions in his pride would often gather around him, nuzzling against his mane, as if seeking his strength and wisdom. So Aslan, the mighty lion, became a legend in the jungle, a symbol of power, wisdom, and justice. And his roar continued to echo through the jungle, a reminder to all who lived there of the mighty king of the jungle. Deep in the heart of the dense and tangled jungle, there lived a powerful and wise African lion. His roar echoed through the trees, sending shivers down the spines of those who heard it. The lion was the leader of his tribe, and under his rule, the animals of the jungle lived in peace and harmony. From the tallest giraffe to the smallest deer, all respected the law of the jungle and the lion's authority. At night, the tranquility of the jungle was shattered. A pack of wild wolves, known for their cunning and ferocity, attacked the lion's tribe. They set fire to the huts made of branches and bushes, and the terrified animals fled in all directions. In the chaos and pandemonium, a brave lioness, the lion's wife, was killed while trying to defend the den. And the young lion, just a cub, was snatched away by the wolves. The next morning, the African lion, filled with grief and rage, stood before his companions. His heart pounded with a thirst for revenge and the determination to rescue his son. With a mighty roar, he called upon all the animals of the jungle to join him. His call echoed through the forest, reaching the ears of a swift and agile Bengal tiger, a wise and observant snowy owl, and a strong and fearless Nile crocodile living in the murky swamp. Together, this unlikely quartet set off into the dark and gloomy forests and swamps in search of the young lion. Their journey was fraught with danger. They had to navigate through an ambush of green snakes, each one more venomous than the last, and avoid deadly traps set by the cunning spotted hyenas. But at every stop, they rescued weaker animals who had fallen prey to the hyenas' traps and gained new allies along the way. Powerful African elephants with tusks like curved swords and massive white rhinos with hides like armor, joined their cause. Finally, at the edge of the mountains, they discovered the wolves' camp. The attack began at the break of dawn. The African lion, with his powerful paws and sharp claws, led the charge. The Bengal tiger, a whirlwind of orange and black stripes, swiftly broke through the wolves' lines. Above them, the snowy owl, with her keen eyesight and sharp beak, gave instructions and directed the attacks. And the Nile crocodile, a terrifying monster with jaws like iron, smashed through the barricades that the wolves had so carefully constructed. In the thick of the battle, the African lion confronted the leader of the wild wolves. And there, amidst the crashing of bodies and the clash of teeth and claws, the two ferocious warriors engaged in a fierce fight. For what felt like hours they grappled, each one trying to outmaneuver and overpower the other. Despite the rage that burned in his heart, the African lion, remembering the wisdom his father had taught him, chose to show mercy in the end. He spared the life of his enemy, proving that true strength lay not in killing, but in making the right choice. The lion was freed, and the wild wolves, realizing they were no match for the combined forces of the jungle, fled and disappeared into the shadows. The heroes of the jungle, the African lion, the Bengal tiger, the snowy owl and the Nile crocodile, returned home. They were greeted with cheers and celebrations. The jungle, once again united and peaceful, stood witness to their bravery. What had been destroyed was rebuilt, and the animals of the jungle learned that unity, bravery and wisdom were the keys to their continued peace and prosperity.